Alright, Warpugs, today we continue with When Day Breaks, and this is SCP-179. I did not know about SCP-179 until legitimately 2 days ago. Now, I had some notion of her because I had seen her in a trailer, and there had been some allusions to her, but I had never really understood what she actually was. So when I was first going to check this out, I was like, okay, he puts the supplemental videos up forward if you don't know anything about the SCP, so we went ahead and checked out 179 by SCP Illustrated. Check that video out if you haven't seen 179 yet. I will continue to basically educate myself before I watch these on things that I don't know yet. Now that we know, let's jump into it. 179 was very calming, and I'm not really sure what to expect out of this, but here we go.
Sponsored by Paranormal Activity Books. Remember the SCP Foundation art books I spoke of recently? Well, the crowdfunding campaign is already at 100%, and hundreds of you have already signed up to get your hands on all these blood-stained research reports, handwritten notes, and more than 200 professional artworks. There is still time to get these books before the campaign ends. To get your hands on these books, head over to the crowdfunding campaign. Backers and backers only will have a chance to receive all 3 books in an exclusive slipcase wrapped in dust
I do remember that
covers that support augmented reality. Stretch goals will see backers rewarded with tons of free bonuses.
I do not know if
this
it's still available.
Patch, a sticker
I
pack,
don't know if
an
it's still
employee
available. I don't
ID
think
card
it
and
is.
lanyard, a poster, a foundation interior photo pack, a set of badges, and more. As an added bonus, 30 random backers will receive a limited edition vinyl figure of SCP-035. Find the link in the description and go and get yourself some exquisite SCP art book.
I will be putting that in the description down below. I do not know if this campaign is actually... I don't think this campaign is actually still ongoing. I wish I had been able to get into this. I really do.
Good day everyone and welcome back. Today,
Here we go.
Fresh When Daybreak story written by my longtime supporter Viger. Find his channel link in the description and go and show him some love for writing this for us.
Lovely.
This video has been authorized by the following council members and administration staff, and let's begin. Terminal 3 transmission recording from researcher Aaron Murphy. My colleague Martha has recommended that I make a recording of the events that led up to where we are now. She thinks it will be good for me to talk. If not to a person, then at least something.
Yes.
Watch, observe, and warn. That's pretty much what we do here at this observation point. We are just one of 4 identical sites responsible for the continuous observation of SCP-179. Due to the inherent nature of our responsibilities, self-sustaining capabilities are a must. The dishes might be above, but the actual sites are underground in bomb-proof bunkers equipped with both agricultural facilities and synthetic protein processors so that we won't go hungry. Our sites have to be fully staffed and functioning 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Not even a second must be wasted. 179's movements are a critical warning system for the Foundation. It's because of her that the Earth has been saved numerous times. But things are different now. And that last movement, that final image, it's burned into my mind. I was on watch duty along with several other colleagues. Our main satellite relayed a crystal clear image of 179, her arm still pointed at that blasted storm on Jupiter. We also had a second satellite in close proximity to 179 in case she spoke. It was able to analyze and translate her words. It had been a couple of years since her last movement, but this was par for the course. The record so far, according to our logs, was close to 10 years before she moved again. I was sipping my coffee when I noticed it. Her arms didn't move, but her face shifted. It went from calm to confused, and then distress. It wasn't until her arm dropped that the entire site went on full alert. We were used to arm shifts, as well as 179 pointing at different angles. This was different. She wasn't pointing at anything. Then she turned away. Jason immediately jumped up from his chair and ran to an emergency terminal to alert the O5. This was new and undocumented. Never before had 179 moved in such a way. Everyone around was in full panic, trying to make sense of what was happening. Books were thrown open, documents were spread out, data logs were accessed. Everything was being used to try and discern what was going on. But me, I didn't budge.
Imagine if your entire job was to watch something. So if it ever made a gesture towards deep space, you would know something was happening. And it hadn't moved in 10 years, and then all of a sudden, it just looked like it was having an anxiety attack. Ugh.
She had her back to the satellite that streamed the live feed to our site. She faced the sun, who she referred to as her brother. She then began moving again, but not pointing. Her arms gestured as though she was speaking to her brother, the sun. I didn't consider myself a leader or anyone special with authority, but I felt this needed full attention. I raised a hand and yelled, "Everyone!" The chaos around me froze. Silence filled the room, and everyone was now watching the live feed. They could see exactly what I was seeing. Jason was still talking, relaying information to the O5. 179's gestures became more erratic, almost as if she was arguing. Her fists clenched up. To me, it seemed that she was shouting at the sun. This went on for a few more minutes before she stopped moving. Her head hung low, as though to indicate she had lost this argument. Then she turned back to the camera, still not looking up. The entire site gasped when she raised an arm and pointed at the sun. She raised her head to face the satellite, and I could see the pain etched on her face. There was no question as to what this meant. SCP-179 now regarded the sun itself, her brother, as a threat to humanity. I'll never forget what I saw next. When you work at one of the observation posts for SCP-179, you need to know two things: how to live underground for long periods of time, and how to read lips in French. Thankfully, I was skilled in both. 179 moved her lips to form one single word, a word now entirely necessary for the plight we find ourselves in. Cacher. Hide. She began stringing several sentences together, but as fluent as I am, I can't lip read another language that fast. It would take another 13 minutes before the translation would come through, so all we had for the time being was that one word: hide. Once she finished her last sentence, she dropped her head and her arm and curled up into a ball. And then it hit her. She burned a fierce orange as the sun's light scorched her. She just... it's hard to describe. She just came apart. Like dry sand being thrown in the air. 1 minute she was there, and then she was gone. Reduced to a cloud of dust and particles. The entire site went into emergency lockdown. No one knew what to do. Jason said that the O5 ordered everyone to stay in the site until further notice, which was super easy since we were all pretty used to staying put. Mary suggested that we switch one of the monitors over to the outside surveillance so we could see if any possible relief would be coming. The main monitor, though, held only the image of the now designated threat.
Oh my god. That was worse than I thought it was going to be. Imagine watching that and this thing, you know it's powerful. You know it's ridiculously powerful. And it just got eradicated.
The surveillance monitor, watching two guards stand outside a decoy building to fool any would-be intruders. We waited for a while, hoping something good would happen, and boy, we were so wrong. One of the guards looked at his hand, and then he just collapsed, followed by the other one the exact same way. They just kind of melted, reduced to a kind of soup in their own clothes. Then they sort of blended into each other and slithered away. Next, all the birds began to fall from the sky, and tiny particles of flesh began to appear as all the insects and the bugs began to turn. The ground was moving, with thousands of fleshy, snake-like things all melting into each other. Everything then took on a very warm hue as the sky turned a burnt amber, like a sandstorm was upon us.
Oh
I
my
looked
God.
around. Everyone was panicking. Nobody was taking action. Everyone was forgetting who they were. And I guess I had to be the one to remind everyone. We are researchers of the SCP Foundation. I called everyone to order once more, reminding them we had a job to do. Sanity slowly returned in the process. It didn't take us long to put the pieces together. 179's warning to hide could only mean to hide from the sun. It was the sunlight. Jason immediately ran back to the emergency terminal and informed the O5 of this information. We could tell that he was receiving a reply, but it certainly wasn't the kind of reply he or anyone else wanted to hear. A few minutes passed and he slowly stepped away from the terminal. He turned to the rest of us and said, "It's everywhere." 2 years later, and here we are, just waiting now. Our systems are starting to deteriorate now. Primarily the communication lines. Our on-site engineer topped himself only a couple of weeks in after finding out his family would... Well, we only get scraps of information now. A few members of the O5 are still out there, trying to fix this. They've tried a few different experiments, but nothing so far has worked. We've heard chatter that suggests they are falling back on a last resort, the final option to make things right again.
What did she say, though? What did she say is what I'm really wondering.
A number of people here have already given up, and I don't blame them. I don't even argue anymore. I just ask that they do it quietly, so the things outside can't hear us. Knowing what is coming, though, I can't help but find myself wondering, what's the point?
Okay.
What is the point in any of this anymore? I'll leave you with the final recording we received from 179. For all she did for us, I truly hope she found peace.
Yeah.
Aaron Murphy, 179, Observation Site 2, signing off. Terminal 3, transmission end.
Hide. You must hide. By the time you hear this, it will already have happened. My brother, something is wrong. He is broken. I don't understand what is happening. He is not himself. The ripples I once saw in the wake of the approaching monsters are gone, diminished by the waves coming from Zoel. I cannot stop this, and neither can you. You must hide. Stay away from my brother's light. It will corrupt you. It will corrupt all life. And not just here, but every world. Every world that can see him will see his light and feel his rage. I have failed the others, and I have failed you, and I have failed our home. I'm sorry.
And that concludes this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. There will be another When Daybreak's tale coming in February. Again, big thanks to Viger for writing this for me, and a nod to Sumerian who gave it the once-over. Find their channel links below and send them some love. Next time will be the Dr. Bright video for this month. That one.
Oh my God, you guys. That actually depressed the crap out of me. I just learned about this SCP. Oh my God. So this thing isn't just affecting Earth, it's affecting everywhere. It's going to hit everywhere that's within range of the light from the sun. Oh my God, that's just... that hurt my heart. That actually hurt my heart. I just learned about her too. I just learned about her, and in this, she is just like. I could only like. Imagine, if you will, you're watching something that tells you that danger's coming, and then you watch that thing that tells you that danger's coming simply get destroyed. For the SCP Foundation, that must have been like watching Superman get deuced. Like, what do you do now? What do you do now? Something's coming and it just killed your guardian. You're finished. She's been pointing at Jupiter for a long time, and I know she's pointing towards the malfunctioning destroyer. But, oh my god. I love SCP. Oh my god. Guys, SCP Illustrated, all of his links are going to be in the description down below. He is so highly recommended, I can't recommend him enough. Okay? Not just for when day breaks, but for anything that you want to check out as far as SCP-related materials. You've already, I mean, just in seeing this, you've seen the voice actors, you've seen the artwork, everything like that. It puts a lot of time into this, and it pays off so well. One of these days, I'm going to be getting into this, and God, I hope I do half as well. Anyhow, all that being said, all my links are going to be in the description below as well. Subscribe if you haven't already, and put a like on this video, guys. I will catch you next time. This made me legitimately sad.